This is a video response to Fearless 2005 video about rape. The question of where does the rape victim hold some responsibility in the case of being raped? Now, I believe that the situations that you mentioned in your video holds no victims at all. That Mike Tyson could have called security to get the woman out of his room, and Tupac, he could have refused, getting head from the woman that turned into eventually her accusing him of rape. And the gentleman that was falsely accused by the woman, that he could have actually turned the woman down by leaving. And I get upset that within the black community, our men are still getting into preventable situations that cause them problems behind sex. Rape involves a predator and a true victim, not someone playing victim. If someone overpowers you, taking your freedom of choice from you by any means, then you are a victim. And it pains me that these situations brought up between Tupac and Mike Tyson and the gentleman in your city is being put into that category, because it sounds like that these men was just trying to get some from people that they either didn't know or didn't know very well, and that the situation ended up turning sour. So I feel like, are we basically saying and acting as if our men don't have a brain to be able to discern between those who they have sex with, regardless of if that woman talks bad about them after she's refused by him? Are we saying that the guys can't critically think on whether or not they're going to try to get to know this woman enough to see if she's going to cause any type of drama behind him having sex with her? Because the fact is that we live in a world that's full of people that have temper tantrums when they don't get what they want because their pride and ego is so hurt. So these guys could very much so study that woman and see if she's going to end up trying to call him gay, or if she's going to try to ruin his reputation. If they actually took time out to get to know before they had sex with her, if she's the type of woman to do that, which I don't really want to be calling them women anyway if they are out there doing it, because it is very childish. It's even beneath some children, the intelligence and the wisdom that some children have out there. So I feel like our guys need to weigh the consequences. That is this sexual experience worth me either getting an STD, an unplanned pregnancy, or a false rape accusation because I really don't know her? And obviously they're missing the whole principle and practice of getting to know someone before you have sex with them, something that's been missing for some generations now. And the purpose of sex has been lost. And these are some situations that you brought up in the video. I feel like that it's being shown in our men and women that the true intimacy that belongs with having sex is just missing, and the goal of getting that true intimacy between two people is missing. Nobody really knows how to get those steps done, and nobody really knows how to try to practice that within our lives and then pass it down to the next generations. These situations are, of course, different from true victims of rape, because rape usually happens from someone that you know, and the perpetrator physically overpowers the victim by either drugging them or using violence or threatening them verbally in such a way that literally paralyzes the victim. It scares them that bad to where they're paralyzed and they can't seem to defend themselves. So the victim is always physically weaker at the time of the rape, because rape is about power and control. The perpetrator is up there not thinking, oh yes, I want this power, so I'm going to rape you. No, they're thinking, you're going to give me what I want by any means, and I'm going to do whatever it takes for me to get it from you, taking your power of choice away from you. So asking if the victim holds some responsibility in preventing the rape, I feel, is like asking the victims of a tornado disaster what they could have done to stop the destruction of their homes. Women dressing provocatively or being promiscuous have nothing to do with them being raped, if they ever are raped. It has everything to do with learning, with them having to learn that as they mature from girls to women, that they need to learn to take care of themselves first. They need to learn how to take care of their minds, their hearts, their bodies, their spirits, their souls, so that they can find what truly fulfills them in this life and what doesn't. And if a woman is showing that she's obviously lacking in something inside of her that's causing her to have some sort of emptiness on any type of level within her mind, within her spirit, that does not mean that she is holding responsibility if she does eventually get raped. And then on the flip side of that, these guys that are being falsely accused of rape or are catching something or getting involved in an unplanned pregnancy, that's not saying that they knew about that possibly happening. They're not psychic. They didn't know that that was going to happen. I am explaining that they could have prevented that from maybe looking at some of the red flags. You know, they could talk to women, see things about other women a lot easier. So if they've got a sister or aunt, have her meet these women and say, hey, do you think she's going to cause some drama if I get involved with her? And, you know, the woman in your family, preferably, is going to tell you the truth. And if she tells you, hey, look, yes, she seemed like she do something like lie and say she's pregnant or actually trap you into a pregnancy, then you don't mess with her. Because at the end of the day, being strong enough to not allow your flesh and your lust or your greed to lead you is going to save you from getting involved in situations like this.